Definitely no talking shit about a Patek Philippe, especially when it comes from your woman. If your woman gets you a Seiko, you're not even allowed to talk shit about it. What's up, guys? Hope you guys have all been well and staying safe. Welcome back to another video. I just want to say real quick, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. This is this channel's very first Christmas, and we're not even past 1 year, and we're coming up on the 1,000 subscriber mark. So you guys have been the very best Christmas gift I could ever ask for. So thank you for that. Stay tuned for the next upcoming videos. Once we pass 1,000 subscribers, I'm planning on doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. But today I am reacting to probably one of the most famous YouTube watch collection videos, and that's Robert Downey Jr.'s watch collection by GQ. And so I'm going to give you my opinions and whether I would buy or I would pass.
I've always felt like you can learn a lot about a man if he opens up his jewelry box.
Such an Iron Man way of starting a video. But yes, I agree. You can tell a lot about a man by looking at the watch on his wrist. And that's even a quote from Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. Mamba.
Might be chokers, tiaras, little ringlets. In my case, it's largely watches. I think by the time we've gone through this arbitrary watch collection of mine, you'll know as much about me as anybody on earth. So let's begin.
Okay, so this is a Breitling Seawolf. It doesn't normally say Pathfinder on it, and they normally don't have this sort of military crest at the 9 o'clock position. So this tells me this is some sort of very limited edition military run. And yes, I would definitely buy a watch like this because first of all, you can't go wrong with Breitling, and you can't go wrong with a military edition Breitling. So this is a yes for me.
This is actually a found object. I was doing some scavenging with a folk art buddy of mine, and we wound up working this into a living art piece.
Of course, nothing less than a JLC Tourbillon GMT for Iron Man to wear. Very fitting. It's very refined, very expensive, very sporty, and of course from a very well-respected watchmaker. So if I had the money, yes, absolutely.
All that was horseshit. This is a Jaeger. This I wore in Iron Man 2, and it has the open back. That's a heck of a watch. It's probably my best watch. I'm gonna say this is an Omega. Yeah, that's an Omega. That's a lovely timepiece. It's very sporty, but I don't have an endorsement with them, so they can suck it.
Of course, this is the Speedmaster Professional, the very first watch worn on the moon. This is the one with the soft Hesselite crystal. You can tell just sort of from the curvature of the crystal. They have a sapphire model with an open case back, but the original OG is this one right here. So I'm actually very impressed that he went for the original. This is often somebody's first luxury watch purchase, and for a very good reason. You get immense amount of history, immense amount of craftsmanship, and all for an amazing bang for your dollar. I personally don't like it on the black strap. I would go with some kind of a rusty brown just to sort of elevate that vintage look to represent the era it comes from, or just keep it on the bracelet, but otherwise a cracking watch, so it's a yes for me.
This is a Rolex, but it's kind of black and shiny. You can't go wrong with a Rolex.
Oh, but you can go wrong with this one.
Can you tell us about it? I can't. I got myself and a buddy of mine black Rolexes for his birthday for some reason. I guess I needed one too.
Aftermarket Rolex isn't exactly something most watch collectors are very fond of, and me included. I prefer to keep watches untouched just from an originality standpoint. In my experience, also black finishes eventually come off, and it's not a very good look. It's not like when you have a basic steel bracelet. When you scuff a steel bracelet, the watch sort of takes on an age and used look, which I think elevates sort of the look of the watch. But when you have a black watch and the finishing comes off, you see the steel underneath and it looks absolutely terrible. And I've yet to see, even from luxury watchmakers, a black finish that is resistant to day-to-day wear. Eventually they do fade, all with the exception of probably Omega's full ceramic black casing. That stuff is pretty much impervious to scratching. So for me, this one, it's a no.
This is the Green Money Rolex.
So the Green Money Rolex he's talking about is the Rolex Hulk, which had a 10-year run from 2010 to 2020.
Why do they call it the Green Money Rolex?
I don't know. I saw it and it's green and it probably wasn't cheap. That's Rolex.
You can't go wrong with this one. Very sought after, very well respected, very inflated on the secondhand market as well. And by the way, I am also wearing a green watch, although it doesn't cost anywhere near as much. So this is the Green Peasant, the Seiko Alpinist.
This was actually my grandfather's watch, and he'd hawked it to get enough dough together to start a little pharmacy. And then he got busted for filling scripts at that pharmacy for people who were forging their doctor's signature. So, I mean, really, there's a lot of shame on this watch.
No shame, only pride. I could probably wear something like this. It looks a bit of more of a feminine watch, but I'm sure that's just because it comes from a different era.
But I got it for a song.
That's pretty cool though. Like, just imagine the sentimental value of having a watch that your grandfather used to own by doing illegal activities. That's, to me, that's very cool. I don't think you can find another watch with the same sentimental value as something like this.
I gave Ben Stiller this watch when we wrapped Tropic Thunder. He said it's too big for me and gave it back to me, and I have not spoken to him since.
Okay, Bell & Ross. Bell & Ross is, I'm not really a big fan of Bell & Ross. I do appreciate sort of their aviation-inspired designs, and I think they are mostly unique. I just don't see a lot of value in a brand like this. I don't know, it just seems to me like the movements they use always seem to be subpar, and they always seem to be a little bit too expensive than what you would imagine they should go for. So to me, Bell & Ross is a no.
That's a lie. Ben Stiller gave me this watch when we wrapped Tropic Thunder. Last, and certainly not least, that is a Patek Philippe. My missus got me this watch. I'd say this is easily the most glamorous watch a man can have. When she first gave it to me, I said, "Did you get me a Seiko? What is this? It's my birthday."
Definitely not a Seiko. Definitely no talking shit about a Patek Philippe. Especially when it comes from your woman. If your woman gets you a Seiko, you're not even allowed to talk shit about it. This is a Patek Philippe 5712. This is one heavy hitting watch.
But I've grown over time to realize that it is an extremely classy and desirable watch. And also, I did not want to incur her wrath by talking shit about a Patek Philippe, because this is an extremely fine watch.
What watch are you wearing right now?
Old frame. I'm wearing a lovely Patek Philippe.
And of course, another typical Iron Man, very charismatic exit to the video. Okay, so that was a wrap, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for stopping by. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please leave me a like and subscribe down below. It helps me out a ton. Leave me your opinions on the watches he's presented. Maybe you guys would buy the same watches I would have. Maybe you guys wouldn't have bought the same watches I would have. I'd love to hear your opinions on what you think of these luxury watch collections that all these rich people have. And until next time, stay safe.